Today I'm going to be showing how to use a Candyland board along with 2 game pieces and a simplified deck of cards, how to use that to target 2 different speech therapy goals for Joey. So the first activity is going to be targeting his social communication, so that pro-social behavior and specifically his ability to take turns on a preferred activity. This is assuming that there's some context that Joey prefers Candyland. And for this activity, I would introduce that the expectation is that there will be a deck of cards in the middle of the board, and throughout 10 targets, Joey will be expected to take a turn, take a card, see what color he has, and move his game piece to that color on the board, and then wait expectantly with appropriate body positioning and without grabbing for cards or speaking out of turn, wait for the clinician to take her turn before he takes his next turn. And I would simplify the deck by taking out all of the popsicles and the cards that go to different parts on the board, as well as the doubles, so that it makes it easier to track and explain the game. And so the deck would just have the single color cards. And I would model this first before taking data on the 10 attempts, but I also like to use visuals, so I would introduce this visual of how to play Candyland, which would show a boy taking a card, moving his game piece, and then specifically waiting with expectant body positioning at the table with his hands in front of him while the clinician takes her turn. So I would be measuring that over 10 attempts to see how Joey is doing that turn-taking behavior. And then the next iteration of how to use this material for a different goal would be slightly different. So Candyland with a twist. And for this one, the cards will not be placed in the middle of the board, but rather I, the clinician, would split them up. So I would have all of the single blues in my hand, all the single reds, yellows, so on and so forth. And for this iteration of the activity, I would show Joey 2 different cards, 2 different colors, and ask, which card do you want? And model that his response should be, I want the yellow card, or I want the red card, in order to increase his mean length of utterance. So what I'm targeting in this activity is his utterance length and his expressive language. And I also like to use a visual for this portion. So there's this sentence frame that he can use, I want the, and then there's all the color options. So the expectation is not that he points to the color he wants, but rather he has that visual support there for him if he needs it. And I would also track this over 10 opportunities, 10 targets, giving him different color options and opportunities to use that sentence frame with that expanded utterance. And also worth noting, if I give him the option of, do you want the yellow or do you want the green card? If Joey uses the 5-word sentence frame and says, I want the purple card, that communication will also be honored because I'm not targeting in this activity his ability to choose or follow directions between 2 color choices, but rather that expressive language. And then, so he would take the card of his choice and be able to move his pawn.